Hey everybody, Stephen Paul Matsumoto with If You Junos, You Know. Thank you for joining us today. We've got a great local distributor with us. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast channels, either iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, what have you. Hey everybody, welcome back to If You Junos, You Know. I'm here today with Markus Kypreos with Blackland. It's Blackland, right?
Yeah, Blackland.
I almost said Black Hills.
I know, no, it's Blackland.
Out of Fort Worth. And, you know, Markus, tell us, you have a really eclectic background. You didn't start off in food service or distilling. Matter of fact, you were an attorney? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I was an attorney for 15 years here in DFW, civil litigation. But growing up, I've always just had a passion for food and wine. Just as a kid, we traveled a lot in my family around food. And so while I was practicing at night, I went to culinary school. And after I graduated, I then got into wine. And part of the sommelier exam here is distilled spirits. And so I went to a number of schools around the country to learn how to make alcohol. And really, so this journey for me is just a culmination of that, a passion for food and wine. And I put a business plan together and I left my firm in 2018, built the distillery, and we opened in 2019.
Awesome. Now, you don't use a lot of traditional distilling techniques. Is that correct? You decided to kind of leverage technology. Matter of fact, it's like, I think Apple makes your still. They call it the iStill.
The iStill, that's right. It's not Apple. It's from the Netherlands. But yeah, we get that question a lot. The iStill is interesting because it's a fully automated still. It's really more of a computer in terms of the day-to-day distillation. And I think that's great because the best part about it is you're taking away the human element out of it, but you're also taking away human error, right? We get a very consistent and clean spirit through the iStill. So yeah, we're trying to push the limits a little bit. I respect the tradition of bourbon and really distilled spirits as a whole, but I also think you want to constantly be trying to push the envelope and do things a little bit better. Okay. And that's sort of the path we're on. Very cool. And you've got a couple of new releases coming out here soon, or have they already hit the market? Yeah, they've already hit the market. Last year we released our Prairie Gold, which is our grain to glass bourbon. It's a 100 proof bourbon. And then this year we released our Texpresso, which is a whiskey that's sort of a coffee flavored whiskey, if you will. And that seems to be doing really well amongst the public, that the younger public likes. Well, espresso martinis are all the rage right now. Yes. What other trends are you seeing in the cocktail space? Oh, no, I think you're right. I think flavored whiskey is a really popular category. Cocktails, I think tequila is super hot right now. I think those two. I think RTDs, the ready to drink cans, had their height, and that's sort of coming down a little bit. I think whatever the hot new thing is, people are always looking to try different things and try new spirits. And so you constantly have to evolve. Outstanding. And you don't have a tequila in your line currently, do you? No, we don't. Is that on the horizon at all? No. I respect all those people who do tequila. There's a great Fort Worth tequila called La Pulga I'll plug that just came out. I saw them at the Texas Package Store Association last year. Oh, yeah. That was their first TPSA. They're crushing it right now. I see them everywhere. I like their tequila. They're doing a great job. So, that's far from my portfolio there. There we go. Well, tell us a little bit about some of the labels that you've brought for us today. Yeah, so, it's kind of interesting because we originally started with a core lineup of, sorry, I won't move these, vodka, gin, bourbon, rye. We didn't add the Texas Pecan Brown Sugar Bourbon until about a year in. And it's because we have a great cocktail lounge and we use it sort of also as experimentation. There we go. And that one just caught fire. And I'll be honest with you, I'm still amazed at how well that one does in the world. It's our best-selling spirit and it's not even close. Funny, it's like you never know. No. No, not at all. That's also pushed us into a number of states. It's sort of our bell cow, if you will.
That was going to be my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just here in Texas, or what other states do you have distribution in right now?
We have distribution in 12 states in the United Kingdom.
Awesome.
And a lot of that is growth outside Texas. Almost if you think about a mushroom, like New Mexico, Arizona, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, you're trying to extend that way. Instead of everybody wants to be in New York and everyone wants to be in LA and everyone wants to be in Chicago, but you have to be ready for that. And you don't want to go too soon because you don't want to sit on the shelf and collect dust.
Yeah, it's like that. As a store owner, that's the worst feeling in the world, where you make an investment in it and it just doesn't move.
Yeah.
Although I think your espresso one might do well in the Seattle market.
Yeah, probably. The flavored whiskeys always surprise me, but you're right. Like that's the end thing right now, and that's what people want. And service industry likes it too because there's sugar in both of them, and you don't need to add simple, right?
There we go.
So it works across the board.
Outstanding. Well, and tell everyone where your tasting room is out in Fort Worth.
Yeah, so we are close to downtown, right behind Montgomery Plaza off of 7th Street, if you know where that is. It's a very cool tasting room. It's more like a cocktail lounge, if you will, a little upscale, sophisticated. You need a reservation on Friday.
Going back to your culinary background.
Yeah, we're trying to elevate craft. That's sort of our tagline is elevating standards and spirits, right? So we're trying to do something a little bit nicer. We do tours 3 times a week, so it's a complete experience.
Awesome. Well, Markus, thank you so much. And stay tuned. Markus is going to show us how to make one of their signature cocktails. Hey everybody, Stephen Paul Matsumoto here with Juno's Liquor, and I'm excited to announce some changes coming to the Juno's Loyalty Rewards program. We have partnered with Picnic Time to create a line of premium barware that you can now exchange your points for through the Juno's Rewards program. We're looking forward to rolling these out soon, so follow us on Instagram or our Facebook page for more information. Have a blessed day. Everyone, welcome back for Shake, Stir, Sip. And now Markus is going to demonstrate one of Blackland's signature cocktails. Markus, take it away.
Happy to do it. One of the questions we get all the time, because everyone wants to try the Texas Pecan Brown Sugar Bourbon, but especially on premise, is how do I drink that? What's the best way to drink it? And one of the ways that I always suggest is a salted pecan old fashioned. We created it in the cocktail room and it does really well because we talked about trends and what people are drinking, whether it's the espresso martini. Everyone loves an old fashioned, but they also love a twist on an old fashioned.
Exactly.
Right? So the nature of this spirit also is that not only is it, we start with a bourbon, but we're adding this muscovado sugar, which is right off the sugar cane. It tends to be a little bit more confectionery. And it's really the best sugar for this. We went through 10 iterations of it. And then we steep it in pecans. And so you really almost have a cocktail in a glass, right? Some people find it a little bit too sweet. Maybe even the owner of the distillery that makes it thinks it's a little bit too sweet. But the world seems to love it.
There we go.
So this is sort of a happy medium in between. We start with the pecan. It's a 1 part pecan, 1 part rye. For us, we're going to make 2 drinks here. So I'm going to go 2 ounces pecan into a glass. And then again, you don't need to add simple syrup like you would in a traditional old fashioned because of the Muscovado sugar. It's already built into the drink.
Okay.
Service likes that too because it's much faster.
There we go.
We then take another 2 ounces
Also a lower
here.
cost per ounce.
Yeah, a lower cost per ounce. That's right. Of rye. Now, rye is a great cocktail drink. It tends to be a little bit spicier, just the nature of the grain. So it kind of dampens down a little bit of that sweetness. I prefer the rye old-fashioned anyway.
There we go.
And then we're just going to take this and add some walnut bitters. You can buy walnut bitters at the liquor store online. We make our own walnut bitters at Blackland because we make, as the distillery, we make anything that's alcoholic.
There we go.
So you just need 3 dashes. Whoa, got a little bit there. That's good enough.
That's going to be spicy.
3 dashes. That's and the point of the walnut bitters is just to bring out that nut flavor that's already there, right?
Okay.
We'll add a little bit of ice here to our concoction. Maybe. Studio lights.
There we go.
Okay, ice, is always controversial. Anytime you put ice in something, you're immediately diluting the spirit. So when do you want to do it? We put some ice in. We're stirring it now. And then we will just take this and pour it into the glass. I'll try and split it evenly. See how good I am at this. We're making 2 here.
There we go. And you can use a large cube or a large globe, whatever your preference is.
Yeah, that was not even close there. You can
tell that's all right.
Skills are a little tired. All right, and then lastly, we just take a little pinch of salt over the top to enhance that flavor. Also, the saltiness just goes so well with the sweetness anyways and balances it. We use pinches of salt. You can use saline if you have a saline solution for dilution at the point. And then finally, we garnish it with a candied pecan. And that is the salted pecan old fashioned.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers. Markus, thank you so much. Everyone, again, make sure you check out Blackland Distillery in Fort Worth. We're going to try to have Markus in for a tasting during one of our allocation days in the next month or 2. So we've got to work that out with his distributor. Thank you again, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks. Cheers.
Markus, thank you. Hey everybody, Stephen Paul Matsumoto here with Juno's Liquor, and I just wanted to make sure that all of our bar and restaurant owners know that Juno's does have our LP permit to do Class B sales and make sure that you get your TABC stamps on all of your bottles. We have some penetration pricing models so that we can be highly competitive against some of our larger competitors, and you get the cell phone number of an owner, not an 800 number to a customer service line. Hey everyone, welcome back for Behind the Counter, where we talk about what it takes to run a liquor store on the day-to-day. And Markus and I were having a great chat between takes on breakage and inventory and supplier issues and substitutions. So yeah, it's like I get exactly what you're saying, where sometimes a Class B customer will order something and then we're out of it, and those who shall not be named will just throw a bottle in there of something that's close enough or something that they get better margin on, instead of actually communicating with the customer saying, hey, I know you ordered the Blackland rye. We unfortunately are out of it at the moment. Would you like a substitution? Or I can get that delivered to you in 2 days. So that's kind of how we choose to handle it. So yeah, because I think that's where some of the bigger stores miss it when they're doing Class B, is they think that they've got it locked in. And I'm like, no, it's like if I come in behind them and they just did something like that and that bar manager is like fuming over it, I'm like, hey, it's like, I'm the owner. Here's my cell phone number.
Yeah, I think the other worst part about that is we don't oftentimes even know it happened, right?
Yeah.
Because
and that's brand degradation for you.
It kills us. It kills the smaller and the mid-sized brands when The worst part is oftentimes they are actually out of our stuff because there's a finite space, right, in a warehouse with all the liquor that they hold. The worst of that, though, is when they actually have our stuff, but they're trying to push another brand for an incentive, and they just say, "Hey, we're out," and that also kills you. It's a double-edged sword that way.
Yeah, I mean that goes into a deeper conversation about how the reps are incentivized.
Yes,
but yeah, I mean, like breakage is a huge issue for all retailers and the liquor industry in particular. It's like I see AI-driven security programs out there that can identify motions that, hey, this guy's probably stealing something.
Wow.
Now I'm betting that system is thousands of dollars. Thankfully, our store is small enough that I can see everything that's happening in our store, but we still get shrinkage, and it happens for a ton of reasons. It could be someone doesn't put a bottle on the shelf right, and then someone else comes in behind them, jars it, and next thing you know, get the mop. That happened to a bottle of Don Julio with me the other day. It's like someone had put it up there and I'm restocking the shelves, not knowing that this thing is like 2 inches over the lip.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm like, crap, there goes $60. Other things, shooters, they're always going to get pilfered. I mean, it's like, luckily it's like not a huge loss,
right?
But it's like, and that's why on our side, we do a perpetual inventory where, we're constantly counting sections so that we know where those things are, so that at the end of the year, also it's like if the computer says we have 6 of something and we only have 3, it doesn't know to reorder it. So a lot of interesting things. I'd be interested to know how that kind of supply chain and inventory management happens on your side.
It's not as bad on our side in terms of shrinkage because once it's out the door for us, it's in the distributor's hands and then it's going out to the world, right? So we just have to make sure everything is 100% accurate and perfect when it leaves Blackland. But we've had some issues in the past where someone didn't put 6 bottles in a box. Or
you sent an empty box went out.
Yeah, we've sent an empty box or sent the wrong spirit here or there, or we've sent bottles.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like we're all human and things like that happen.
Yes.
You just got to realize it's like...
yes, you just and fix it and just try and...
Getting upset about it doesn't solve anything.
This it's rare. Like this doesn't happen very often for us, but it has happened.
Awesome. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like we have to really stay on top of the inventory because especially since there's no terms in our industry at all.
Right.
It's like not like they are in other industries where you can have 30 days to pay for something and have that time to sell it. Here you got 15 days. So, and that's if the distributor's willing to give that to you. So
yeah, if you want to continue in business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when we first opened, it's like we were COD when we bought our store in November. And it's like, and that's hard, like trying to reorder. And when you have to rely on the cash that's in the bank account.
Well, and it's
challenging.
It's also hard during slow economic times, which we've experienced, especially in this last year, for cash flow purposes, right? Yeah, it's made it difficult. Now, we all do great in October, November, December, when everyone's buying alcohol.
I had a great 4th of July. It's like, I don't know if other stores stay open on 4th of July, but we stayed open on 4th of July. And like between the 3rd and the 4th, we did almost $7,000
I believe
in sales.
Yeah, I believe it. So it's still, spirits to me are still the future. It's just a very volatile market right now.
It is. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much, Markus, for joining us. Everyone, check out Blackland Distillery's tasting room in Fort Worth and stay tuned. We're going to talk about maybe getting them up to the store for a tasting during our allocation day.